Hello everyone and welcome back to game week 2 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, for the second game of the day, which will be contested between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Before we get into this fixture, just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsors of the National League, which encompasses both Premiership and Championship. Optegra are a renowned eye care provider since 2007, bringing cutting-edge technology and expertise to eye health, working with the NHS to provide timely cataract surgeries and advanced vision correction solutions. As this season proudly takes on the name of the Optegra National League, our collaboration stands as a symbol of shared values and a commitment to inclusion, excellence and community. It's more than just the branding, it's about supporting something that empowers people, builds confidence and absolutely, above all else, showcases the incredible talent that we've been seeing game after game, both in this weekend and the season as a whole. As you'll see from the bottom right-hand corner of your screens, this weekend we are proudly supporting Stonewall's Rainbow Laces campaign, an initiative that celebrates inclusion in sport, reminding us that football is for everyone, no matter who they are. It's about bringing people together and reflecting something that we hold dear: respect, inclusion and community. It's words that we'll use time and time again, which hopefully is portrayed across our streams. So Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest, scheduled to kick off in about 3 minutes time. Manchester United had a mixed day yesterday. They started with a close 1-0 win over their Manchester rivals, Manchester City. That finished 1-0, the first time we've ever seen the two sides face one another in our flagship National League, so that was a sight to see. Sam Taylor was the single goal scorer in that one. Following that, Manchester United suffered their first defeat of the season, 4-0. to the hands of current league leaders GVG Knights, and whilst at face value it seems like a fairly emphatic defeat, from what I've been told it was a very entertaining affair. Let's go through the squads really quickly prior to us kicking off. Megan Harley-Buller overseeing proceedings, complemented by Dave Morris and Russ Baker. So Kieran Burns, Josh Slack, Sam Taylor, Shannon Smith and Anne-Marie Robertson. Their coach, Pete Taylor. Nottingham Forest have Gary Meakin, Jack Bosanquet, Riley Priestley, Finley Cooper and Ben Rogers. Their coach, Steve Priestley. So the teams are ready. But following that 4-0 defeat, Manchester United bounced back 1-1 with Teesside. Still, it was a very late equaliser following an inspired substitute, or not even a substitute, a switch up tactically, putting Joshua Slack, outfield. So we are set to get underway. Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest in game week 2 of the 24-25 Optegra Championship. So as the teams line up, Jack Bosanquet, Gary Meakin, Finley Cooper and Ben Rogers comprise Nottingham Forest starting 4. Anne-Marie Robertson on the ball, 1 of 4 for Manchester United. Kieran Burns, Sam Taylor and Joshua Slack. 2-on-1 signalled by Megan Harley-Buller. Nottingham Forest, 2 defeats from their 2 games yesterday. Leeds Dynamos and Teesside 1-0 and 3-0 respectively. And whilst it's never nice to lose games, they've shown a clear progression and development from last season. which is fantastic to see. And direct free kick to be taken by Kieran Burns. Down to Sam Taylor in the bottom left-hand corner, across the box, met by Anne-Marie Robertson. Just nicks off the back of Gary Meakin's chair, and he can't quite adjust to take possession. Goes out for a Manchester United ball. Kieran Burns down to Anne-Marie Robertson, marking her National League debut this weekend. The first female from Scotland to do so, so a huge congratulations to her. She's playing alongside her compatriot Kieran Burns with possession now. Nice pass to Sam Taylor, back to Kieran Burns. Gary Meakin, nice pass to Finlay Cooper, takes possession but can't quite control the ball, out of play. Ben Rogers. Finlay Cooper was going to advance down the wing, but just before Megan Harley-Bullard signals a 2-on-1 in the favour of Nottingham Forest. So Ben Rogers will take responsibility. Gary Meakin, the other side of the court. It's something that I acknowledged in their game yesterday. It's just they weren't as effective from set pieces as they're showing now. That was probably the only real negative from their performances yesterday, is not being as clinical as they probably could or should have been from set pieces, considering how pivotal set pieces are within the sport of power chair football. But at the first time of asking in this game, Gary Meakin nearly puts them 1-0 up. These are two teams competing at very different ends of the table, and it's a reoccurring theme across game week 2. It's teams, irrelevant of placement in the league standings, can give anyone else a game, which is why our National League, which encompasses both the Premiership and Championship, is the best worldwide. As always, get your comments, predictions, thoughts in the comment section. I'll endeavour to read them out. But we've had just under 4 minutes, very even so far. So Anne-Marie Robertson picks out Josh Slack. Really nice kind of 4-out approach here from Manchester United, using Josh Slack in attacking phases of play as well. For all of those unaware, 4-out system is kind of a title, a term that has been created within power chair football, which essentially means that of the 4 players you have present on the court, you're contributing to the attack as well as the defence. It allows you to maybe create overloads in attack to outnumber the opposition. Kieran Burns can't quite make clean contact, but Sam Taylor takes possession, met by Ben Rogers. Live on court A currently. Muscle Warriors take on Sale United. Should Muscle Warriors win that one, they will go back top of the table. GBG Knights following a 3-0 win over their opposition this morning. I've seen them go top of the tree. Gary Meakin into Ben Rogers, goes all the way from one side of the court to the other. Substitutes at the disposal of the coaches present. Riley Priestley for Nottingham Forest, Shannon Smith for Manchester United. Anyone that is a regular watcher of our National League, Sam Taylor looking to add yet another goal to his already impressive tally, will know Riley Priestley made history in game week 1. The first player to score 7 goals in the Championship for well over 10 years. And the 8 goals they scored in that 8-1 victory over AFC Bournemouth Warriors matched their entire 23-24 tally. Kieran Burns with a sight at goal there. Blocked by the defence of Nottingham Forest, but United definitely knocking on the door. Burns to Sam Taylor. He's going to try and switch play just off the front of Gary Meakin's chair. When you're considering average age, Manchester United with the oldest squad in not just the Championship but Premiership as well, which hopefully translates to experience and nous, and it's most definitely reflected in their style of play and how they approach games. Myself and Dean Williams was commentated on their close draw with Teesside Steel yesterday, and it was a fairly dominant performance from Teesside Steel. They took the lead via a penalty early in the second half. Across the entirety of the fixture, Teesside Steel were dominant, they were attacking, and then Pete Taylor made a tactical switch up to put Shannon Smith in goal and take Josh Slack out. And from that moment on, they just grew in stature, in confidence, in attacking prowess, and finished the game the better of the two teams. They found a beautiful equaliser, Josh Slack with one of the best assists you're ever likely to see. And not just that, they went on to really challenge, and they could have easily got 3 points as Kieran Burns really, unfortunately, forcefully trying to get the ball up the court. It ricochets off of Gary Meakin's chair. That's that danger when you're trying to use that 4-out approach. And I just want to say a huge congratulations to Gary Meakin. I may be wrong, but following a conversation with him yesterday, I believe that is his first National League goal in over 3 seasons. So 8 minutes in, Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 1. And this hopefully just shows how competitive this division is. Manchester United will want an immediate return to the top flight. They were relegated from the Premiership, unfortunately, last season, as the ball was just wedged between Meakin and Kieran Burns. So, as I mentioned, Manchester United won't want to be playing their football in the Championship next season. They're a very ambitious side. Nottingham Forest, for further context, are very lucky to be in the 24-25 Championship division. They were present in the playoff game. So as the National League works, obviously we have 2 12-team divisions, the Premiership and the Championship. The two bottom teams in the Premiership are automatically relegated to the Championship. The 2 top teams from the Championship are, of course, promoted to the Premiership. Whoever finishes 3rd in the Championship will play whoever finishes 10th in the Premiership in a one-off playoff game. And then, depending on how many teams from our various regional leagues around the country state a preference and interest of competing in our National League, that will comprise how many bottom spots are contested in the Championship. So GBG Saracens in July wanted to attempt to gain one of the valuable National League placements, and they faced Nottingham Forest, and it was a tough game for Nottingham Forest, but it's been that real catalyst, I think, for Nottingham Forest to build upon, and we're seeing the success and the fruit of that bear across this season so far as Anne-Marie Robertson pick off to the centre. Be really interesting to see how Manchester United approach this game now, because if they do look to utilise the 4-out, irrelevant of that scoreline, it of course comes with vulnerabilities and that threat that was exposed just a few minutes ago when Gary Meakin capitalised on a huge open goal. So really fascinating stuff. Two number 11s locked in a battle on the far side, Gary Meakin and Josh Slack. Muscle Warriors and Sale United still at a deadlock on court A. So Kieran Burns back to Josh Slack. Gary Meakin having a very good game. Josh Slack down to Anne-Marie Robertson. Jack Bosanquet been fairly quiet for him the last 5 or so minutes. Can he capitalise? Beautiful pass from Kieran Burns down to Anne-Marie Robertson. Ben Rogers has to adjust and really try and prevent Manchester United from creating something. You can see the head in the hands of both Anne-Marie Robertson and Sam Taylor. I believe on court A, Muscle Warriors have conceded their first goal of the season. They're on a perfect record of 7 wins from 7, but Sale United are looking to upset that. Everywhere you look, every fixture you watch, there's drama. As Sam Taylor looks to get the better of Ben Rogers. Sam Taylor on 5 goals this season. He'll be looking to add to that tally here to get Manchester United back into the game. He scored the lion's share of United's goals, so they'll want to share that responsibility also. Expect the Lee Westwood Sports Centre to erupt if Anne-Marie Robertson scores. Kieran Burns with 2 assists to his name. Sam Taylor. Back to Kieran Burns. Nice feint. Sam Taylor just caught in 2 minds, and the pace on the ball doesn't allow him to control it. Ben Rogers looking to take quickly. 13.5 minutes played. Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 1. This would be a monumental upset if it remains this scoreline, and would almost certainly be Nottingham Forest's most impressive result for many, many years. As I said earlier, I think the playoff game that they played in July is been used as that catalyst. They finished bottom of the table last season, but since that they've just consolidated, they've regrouped, and there's just this new freshness, this new vigour around the side, which is fantastic to see. They only managed 4 points in the entirety of last season. 1 draw, 1 win. They managed to get this 3 points over the line. They will be on 6 points, so a win here, or even a draw, would see them either beat or surpass last season's tally. Muscle Warriors have equalised on court A. Greg Baxter and Troy Willicombe calling the action on that one. Kieran Burns here into the side of Sam Taylor. And there's a ricochet he has to be careful for. Thankfully for him, Ben Rogers' attempt goes out of it for a kick in, and considering the proximity of that interception, it was no real danger to the Scotsman and or Josh Slack. This is good play from Nottingham Forest. Ben Rogers just can't quite get the power on that pick-off. Had he done so, Finlay Cooper would have been set away on the wing. Mentioned it on commentary when watching Nottingham Forest yesterday. Just want to see Finlay Cooper stay in reverse as much as possible, and he's doing that. Certainly in the 15.5 minutes I've watched of this game. A young, aspiring, up-and-coming player Finley Cooper, just 13 years of age. Sam Taylor, Ben Rogers, pick off from Gary Meakin. Kieran Burns coming across to intercept. Finley Cooper caught in two minds there as to whether to try and lock it and dribble it down this left-hand wing, the right of Nottingham Forest, or pick off back to Gary Meakin. Out of play for a Manchester United kick-in. Final 3.5 minutes of this first half. Absolutely brilliant stuff from Nottingham Forest. Irrelevant a result, it's just a confidence they seem to have at the moment that has perhaps evaded them in years gone by. Talking to their coach, Ant Nweke, I think he's just really loving the development of the side. Manchester City are another that statement and sentiment can be applied to. Sam Taylor back to Kieran Burns, tries to pick it off over to Anne-Marie Robertson. Ben Rogers there to cut out. An excellent player is Ben Rogers, another with a really bright future. Sam Taylor, nice connection. Can he find his 6th goal of the season? Anne-Marie Robertson tries to guide it in that right-hand post, nearly does so. Jack Bosanquet, who has been very isolated from this game, has to maintain concentration and alertness to prevent Robertson from scoring. Jack Bosanquet. Into Gary Meakin. Nice work. Finds Finley Cooper, who's nice and brave, trying to get that pick off back into the path of Meakin. Kieran Burns and Sam Taylor both surrounding the Forest number 24. I have to say, I think Forest have been the better of the two teams. They obviously boast a 1-0 scoreline. And that's unfortunate for Finley Cooper. Out of play. That's when we touch on them set pieces and wanting to capitalise. Doesn't always have to be a sight on goal, but just have positive contributions when you're giving kick-ins or 2-on-1 indirect free kicks, because they can really help as Anne-Marie Robertson tries to get that pick off in front of Jack Bosanquet. Over to Sam Taylor. But the Forest goalkeeper saves brilliantly. If you haven't done so, I implore the viewing audience to go back and watch Nottingham Forest's performance yesterday, in which they faced Leeds Dynamos. A save from Jack Bosanquet, probably the best I've ever witnessed live. Another player growing in confidence, been given much more responsibility than seasons gone by, and he seems to be thriving off that. He provides a fantastic foundation for Forest to build upon. Kieran Burns fires a beautiful pass over to that top right-hand corner. Sam Taylor unfortunately can't quite keep up with it, but that's what they're going to need to do continuously across the second half. We've just ticked over into additional time, so they're going to have to regroup at the break and look at ways at how they can attack this game and force the narrative in their favour. Still some time. Anne-Marie Robertson into the centre. Ben Rogers can't make clean contact, and that will be the last action of the first half. A brilliant half of football. Thank you to all that are tuning in. I'll be back very shortly for the second half. Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Hello everyone and welcome back. Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest, separated by a single Gary Meakin strike. Just having a few conversations in and around the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. Should, and it's a monumental size should, Nottingham Forest manage to secure 3 points in this fixture, it would be, I believe, only their second or third win in over 5 years. So they have won one already this season. They won one last season, but beyond that, you'd have to go back all of the way to 2019 to find a scoreline in their favour. So huge, huge result. Huge 20 minutes ahead. We are back underway. Manchester United have switched it up at the break. Nottingham Forest unchanged, so let's just bring confirmation of that substitute. It's a change that I think could be really important. Josh Slack comes out of the goalkeeper jersey. Apologies, but as I was saying, they've made a switch up. Yep. Shannon Smith is on. Sam Taylor, the player that's come off. Confirmation of that substitute on your screens now. Kieran Burns needs to be careful of his placement with Josh Slack. Josh Slack over to Anne-Marie Robertson, and they've almost immediately found the goal. Anne-Marie Robertson, the first goal of her National League career, certainly in England. And as was the case in their game yesterday against Teesside Steel, Josh Slack providing a beautiful assist across the box. Anne-Marie Robertson, the first Scottish female to compete in the WFA National League, the first Scottish female to score in the WFA National League. And I don't know what was said, discussed at that half-time break, but it's an inspired change by Pete Taylor once again, and they've just got this new lease of life. Josh Slack, one of the most brilliant technical players you're likely to see in this division, showing why he's so versatile. He can be that defensive rock, and he can also provide beautiful assists such as that. We referenced it in the first half, him providing a world-class assist yesterday against Teesside Steel. That one was another to add to an impressive catalogue. But Manchester United straight back into things in this second half. That's well played by Manchester United. They've penned Nottingham Forest right back in to go through the squads in their entirety. Manchester United have Shannon Smith, Kieran Burns, Josh Slack and Anne-Marie Robertson. Nottingham Forest, Jack Bosanquet, Ben Rogers, Gary Meakin and Finley Cooper. The goal scorer, Anne-Marie Robertson, with responsibility of this corner kick into Josh Slack. Guided goal bound. Really nice save by Jack Bosanquet, but they are knocking on the door. They want to grab this game by the scruff of the neck and force it in their favour. It will be very hard for Forest to withstand this. for the 16 minutes remaining. You can see it's a more conservative approach with Shannon Smith in goal. She's rooted to her goalkeeper area. I think they only really look to adopt that 4-out approach when Josh Slack is the designated goalkeeper. And once again, he's just so good at finding that gap between the defence. On that occasion, just nicks up off of Jack Bosanquet's chair. But whether he's occupying on the left wing or the right wing, he's really good. Just like any form of football, players can have a tendency to favour one side of the chair or the left, just like a left or right foot use in the mainstream running game. But Josh Slack just seems to be brilliant at both. Finley Cooper unable to get control of his chair. I think his hands just come loose of his controller, so he isn't able to meet that crossfield ball. 25 minutes played. Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 1. It's been a brilliant game. We've got someone in the comments section just acknowledging how quick that goal was. You're absolutely right to do so. There's just a resilience and a determination about this Manchester United side that is so fantastic to see. It's a different looking side as well than that finished the 23-24 campaign in the Premiership. Long-standing player Liam Fitzpatrick left to take up an opportunity with recently promoted Greenbank. Jake Hudson has also departed to be a player coach at the sister club Sale United, currently competing on Encore A. So a big switch up for them. But they're back into things here. Still a lot of football to be played, but a win for them would see them go on to 17 points. As Josh Slack can't quite make contact. They're currently on 15 points in third. Leeds Dynamo's the closest team in fourth, who would have 2 games in hand over the Manchester side. So they're going to want to get 3 points over the line in this one. As was mentioned in the first half, whoever finishes in the first and second position is automatically promoted to the Premiership. Whoever finishes third will play whoever finishes 10th in the Championship in a one-off playoff game. Substitute for Nottingham Forest, Riley Priestley enters the court for the first time this game. The goal scorer for Forest, Gary Meakin, coming off. Confirmation of that on your screens now. Looking to try and influence this result. A draw is still a very credible result if they're able to get it, but the pressure of Manchester United is building. Riley Priestley. Down to Jack Bosanquet, over to Ben Rogers. Priestley takes possession, can't quite get control. Out of play, which will be taken quickly by Kieran Burns. Riley Priestley has 7 goals to his name in the season thus far. All of them were scored in a single match against AFC Bournemouth Warriors. So it shows if he's provided the service, he can capitalise, he can score, and he can be a threat to the opposition. Back to Ben Rogers, nice play. Ben Rogers just kind of caught in 2 minds there. Just needs to be a little bit more assertive in his decision making. A second's hesitation just allows Manchester United to readjust. Kieran Burns. Down into this bottom hand corner. Jack Bosanquet trying to guide it out of danger. Josh Slack there. Anne-Marie Robertson's going to have to try and switch play quickly. She does so in the end. Josh Slack laser concentration. Flick back to Kieran Burns. Across the box. Doesn't make contact. Has another attempt. Fortunately, isn't able to pick out his compatriot on the right. But the danger still present. Good work from Anne-Marie Robertson. Obviously experiencing the National League in England for the first time, it can be hard to adapt to the increase in intensity and pace, so you always have to be thinking about placement, about positioning, and in a split second you can be within 5-10 meters of space, and a second later you can be drawn into the action and being infringed on a 2-on-1. So she's constantly moving, constantly switching sides to ensure that Josh Slack and or Kieran Burns are given the room to roam. This is exactly what I'm talking about. She's switching sides now, which allows Josh Slack just the option to go into that bottom right-hand corner without a 2-on-1 being awarded in Nottingham Forest's favour. Flicked across the box. Riley Priestley connects with it. Over to Finley Cooper. Blocked by Kieran Burns. Manchester United 1. Nottingham Forest 1. 9.5 minutes to be played. Gary Meakin opening the scoring in the first half. His first goal in over 3 seasons before an immediate reply at the start of the second. Riley Priestley now looking to add to his goal tally. Shannon Smith called into defensive duties for the first time since her introduction at the interval. Finley Coop is in a nice position on the right-hand wing. Has to be careful if Riley Priestley goes in reverse. Desperately trying to weave the ball over the line. Too aggressive. He's not happy with the decision awarded, which is that of a goal kick. Muscle Warriors 1, Sale United 1 on court A. Next up on court B, I will be calling the action between AFC Bournemouth Warriors and Hull and East Yorkshire. Anne-Marie Robertson guides it goal bound. He's going to try and capitalise on a fortunate deflection in her favour. Good adjustment from the defensive pair of Forest. Ben Rogers can't make contact. It's about how they manage the game now as we get a substitute. Sam Taylor comes on in place of that goal scorer. Congratulations again to Anne-Marie Robertson. Let's get confirmation of that substitute on your screen. Sam Taylor, top goal scorer for Manchester United with 5 finishes. Can he add a goal to his name in this one? Kieran Burns shaping to pass it down the line to Sam Taylor, which he does so. Pick off into the centre. I think we're seeing Forest just ride this storm a bit better now they've isolated Josh Slack a bit more. Too forceful there from Riley Priestley. Just trapped the ball into the side of Josh Slack's chair. Needs to be careful, that's his warning. Any further infringes surely will result in a yellow card. Kieran Burns, direct free kick into Josh Slack, over to Sam Taylor. Attempt to capitalise on the ricochet. Good work from Ben Rogers, but a well-worked set piece from Manchester United. You can see what they wanted to do there. It's been a really entertaining game. Thank you again to all that are tuning in. Riley Priestley controls it. Sensible decision to do so. There was no options on for him to pass to. But getting the ball past Kieran Burns, a lot easier said than done. Very strong, aggressive front foot player, as well as a vocal presence. It's a really nice option. Unfortunately, no one there to meet that crossfield ball. But you can see, had Josh Slack anticipated that a little bit sooner, how it could have created a real opening. Beautiful pass down the line by Riley Priestley, but what has been a fairly reoccurring factor, Finley Cooper's decision making. He's unable to take control all the way out for a goal kick as we approach the final 5 minutes. Got comments in the YouTube stream highlighting just how good Josh Slack is, and I will absolutely echo that. This season he has been one of my favourite players to watch in this division. The versatility, the skills. He's a real asset for Pete Taylor. And to be honest, I think I would like to see him feature outfield for the majority of games, because I think technically speaking he is the best. As Finley Cooper guides it towards that left-hand post. Almost a certain goal prevented by Kieran Burns, and I think Megan Harley-Buller has pointed to the penalty spot. 4 minutes to go. One of those four Nottingham Forest players is going to have the opportunity to regain that 1-goal advantage despite Kieran Burns' appeals. The penalty will stand. Ben Rogers will take. Shannon Smith will desperately try to prevent it. This could be a really significant moment, not just in this match, but in Nottingham Forest's season. As I've already mentioned, this would only be their third win in over 5 years, as Ben Rogers fires it towards the left-hand side of the post. They've had to settle for less possession in this half. They've absorbed a lot of attacking pressure. But Ben Rogers, with 3 minutes left, puts Nottingham Forest back 1-0 up. Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Really is fantastic stuff. Manchester United were on the receiving end of a penalty yesterday as well. And whilst they may appear soft on the streams, if there is contact off the ball inside the box, the referee is unfortunately left no decision but to award a penalty. Megan Harley-Buller, one of the most brilliant match officials, oversees things with a high level of authority. But Manchester United have just over 2 minutes to try and influence this result. It's a nice pass from Kieran Burns, but a little bit too much pace for Sam Taylor. Had Sam Taylor stayed in reverse there, I think he would have caught up to it. Just that millisecond to readjust and turn to drive onwards to the ball loses you precious momentum. Now it is a real test of the game management of Nottingham Forest. How they see out this final 90 seconds and 3 points. They're attacking now. They're capitalising on the overload from Manchester United. Riley Priestley's going to drive it into the side of Shannon Smith. Shannon Smith has to be careful to not give away another penalty. This result would see Nottingham Forest go to 9th in the table, 2 points behind Sale United, so they'll be hoping for a Muscle Warriors win on Court A. Still 1-1 on that one. Final minute of play. Nottingham Forest ending on a high. Strike at goal from Ben Rogers. Goal kick. This surely the last chance to get up the court. There'll be maybe 30 seconds, a minute added on due to that penalty. Kieran Burns lets it play. Good assertive pass from Ben Rogers. Riley Priestley takes possession, and brilliant management from Riley Priestley to just play it off Kieran Burns and wind that clock down even further. Ben Rogers over to Finley Cooper, who had a real opportunity to score, and he missed that opportunity on the left-hand side of the box. It looked as if Manchester United would go on to take either a point or 3, but they continued to attack. They found an opening. And as we now enter additional time, it looks like Nottingham Forest will get their 3rd win in 5 years, as Riley Priestley controls it beautifully. Out of play for a Manchester United ball. Look, Kieran Burns is calling Shannon Smith up. Should Nottingham Forest intercept, it will surely be a 3rd goal. He's guided it goal bound, but that will be the last action of the game. Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2. A historical result for Nottingham Forest, who have just been brilliant, not just in this game, but the season as a whole. It gives me so much pleasure watching and commentating on them, but watch their development over time. This is a team that's finished bottom of the table for 3 of the last 4 seasons. But already you're seeing stability, you're seeing familiarity. The players are establishing chemistry with one another. And Steve Priestley and Nat Nweke are doing a fantastic job, so full credit to them. But thank you once again to all that have tuned in. Thank you, Rich, for your comment. Much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I have. Nottingham Forest securing a brilliant win. But thank you to all that have joined me. I will be back very shortly for the next game, which will be contested between AFC Bournemouth Warriors and Hull in East Yorkshire.